And I actually really do get where he's coming from with this perspective, especially with him. He's played so much footy. He's won a grand final. He's won a Clive. Probably will never play Origin even though his form at stages should have been warranted. He was just never in conversations. It was almost like there was a period where he could have. Freddie didn't pick him for whatever reasons. That kind of window kind of closed.
And then he got injured as well.
And so, he had to sit there and go, okay, I can play 200 NRL games. Does that make me any more of an NRL player? Does anyone ever going to speak to me like, oh, you're even better than... he's already achieved enough to kind of tick off, at least with his own ego, I guess, to say, I was a bloody good NRL player that played, how many games did he end up playing? 100?
113.
113?
Clive Churchill medalist.
Yeah. And so he's right. So it's like, okay, so... Right now, I'm in relatively good shape. Yeah, okay, I've had a couple of head knocks. But, do I trade another 5 head knocks, or just say 4, for an extra 50 games? It's a shit trade. So I get where he's coming. And granted, I understand that the pay packet that he's on and good money or whatever. But, is your mental health and your mental capacity worth an extra $1 million over a couple of years? In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it is.
When he quote unquote signed with or was in talks with Rugby 360, I know I thought, and a lot of people thought, yeah, you've been concussed heaps, you've had major injuries, you've achieved everything. Why not extend your career by a few years and go play rugby? So none of this came as a surprise to me, really.
Yeah, and as an outside back, obviously you're going to get some head knocks, but nowhere near the chances as a rugby in NRL.
Oh, and also I think from his point of view too, as you alluded to there, he had some really bad injuries on top of the HIAs, right? Which were that. Was it his...
That shattered
knee.
knee.
Was it a tib fib as well?
Was it Jackie White
that
come across?
Yeah, the Whiten one. Oh, and then he came back the next week. Oh, sorry, not the next week. Came back a year later.
Yeah, no. That would have been phenomenal. In the Broncos.
Back in White.
Broncos Storm.
Yeah, was that a
round
tib
27
fib
game?
Was it a compound fracture?
Yeah.
I do think there's a good chance. I know he's got other interests outside of footy that he sort of spends a lot of time in, and he's going to do really well, I'm sure. Anyway,
100% he will.
But I reckon if R360 does come to fruition at some point, there's nothing stopping him from coming back for a year or two and making that money. And I think every NRL fan pretty much would be happy to see him get his flowers there, because I think it sounds like, I don't know what the go is there with the Storm and him, but the vibe was always a little bit sort of
towards the end. The vibe was
a bit
definitely
weird.
a bit weird.
It's weird, but too when you think about, given how it's played out now, if it's true and he has retired, that play where Walsh saved that try, where Katoa had the 2-on-1. Can you imagine he went out winning a grand final?
Well, he actually said that. He actually said, I felt like if I'd lost before the game, I felt like if I had lost the grand final, I would go again because I wanted to win it. And he said what made me kind of certain of the fact that I'm pretty much done is I didn't feel any different after losing the grand final. As in, I didn't have the urge.
That drive.
I need to go again. And that kind of made him really realise, oh, okay, I might be done here. I love Papi. I think his story is incredible. To think he came back from the injuries that he has suffered is actually mind-blowing. That one of those injuries usually ends a guy's career, let alone multiple, plus all the head knocks as well. It's incredible.
Yeah, and he came through in an era too where being too small was absolutely more of a thing, and he was always that was the knock on him, and at the Tigers, and then even with the game changing as he sort of had his best years with the 6 again stuff, he still had catastrophic injuries in HIAs. So I think to have carved out 113 games and to have been in Origin contention, and it is good, because I think a lot of kids now coming through, we were speaking about Jai Gray before, even him coming through SG Ball and stuff, people were going, oh, he's too small a few years ago. Whereas now, every time that a guy like a Luke Keary or a Papi comes through and has a career like what he's had, it sort of inspires that next generation of smaller blokes to have a crack. So I think he'll have way more of a legacy than what most people will understand. I think that'll get better with time. But yeah, good on him.
It's a big thing in rugby league. If you're a fan of the game, you probably aren't aware of how prevalent the you're too small is.
Oh.
It is truly what do you reckon? Do you reckon it happens in essentially every team that plays rugby league growing up?
Without a doubt. One of my best mates, he was the fullback of that SG Ball side with Jai Gray, right? And he'd already been brought down from Queensland to be at South. He's playing SG, and that, like, he was carving. That was still the knock on him. People going, oh, but he's too small. As it played out, he went through, and even when he debuted in the NRL, and you get it, right? You eyeball him and you understand, especially when that's sort of like the norm, that's how people talk. It's not even a thing now with Jai Gray. People just talk about Jai Gray. No one talks about, though he's small, it's how much work he gets through, how quick he is.
So the impact of guys like Papi, I don't think, like, I know we see the, like, you know, the montages that get together around like Thurston, and we all get inspired by it, but I don't think that people actually realise how prevalent in the game it still is, the idea of, like, just because you don't look big, you can't play NRL.
And, like, for every Thurston, there's 300 blokes that just weren't given the light of day. You know what I mean? So, like, that's...
Like a rep team, for example, I guarantee this conversation happens, and you could probably vouch for this, the amount of times there is, like, 2 guys with a gun, and they'll go, probably a bit small, we'll go with this guy. It happens all the time. So the more players like Papi and that can prove that that's not true, it helps those situations.
Yeah, and it's actually really frustrating too, because a lot of the time the guys that they're talking about, like, you keep saying pound for pound, like, a lot of the time the smaller guys they're talking about pound for pound are, like, right up there in terms of strength. But it's some, like, out of shape coach who's going, he's not big enough. It's like, you don't understand, this guy who you're saying smaller, he's fucking way stronger than the guy you're picking, you idiot. Like, the other guy's just a bit taller and a bit fatter. Like, you just... But, yeah, I think that'll be something that I'll definitely remember Papi for, is the fact that he sort of just proved that whole thing wrong, just with being, like, tough, and just that he sort of brought speed into the game like we haven't really seen in a while too. That was just his thing.
Yep.
As a fullback.
I think as well, what's so special about Papi is, like, you know, if you're small, you're not usually considered tough. Like, it's like, you got to be big and tough, or you got to be like a nuggety build and tough, or whatever. Whereas, like, his mental toughness to overcome as much as he did showed that he had all that as well. So, like, it dispelled all these kind of stereotypes and myths about the small, fast guy.
Yeah, because tough, when you talk about a small guy and you call him tough, normally it's almost like a bit of an endearing, condescending thing. It's like, he's tough. Like, he sort of mixes it with the big boys. Whereas he was fucking, like, the complete opposite.
Yeah, Papi, incredible career. If he is done... What an amazing career. And, you know, he would have inspired so many kids. And I think he wants to get into stuff like that as well with, you know, mental health and everything. So, incredible stuff, Papi. Well done, mate. I'm faster than you.
Same.